remember when the World Boxing Super Series was first announced that Callum Smith here, 23 and 0 with 17 KOs. You know, one of the brothers Smith. There's Stephen Smith. There's Paul Smith. There's Liam Smith. You know, trained by Joe Gallagher, promoted by Eddie Hearn Matchroom. Remember going into the World Boxing Super Series, and even before he even entered the World Boxing Super Series, people were like, yo, he's going to rule the 168-pound division. On TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I'm frustrated because for those who know and have been following me for like a long time, in a way, I cover more international boxing than my competitors. And I'm going to be able to watch this fight, you know, but it's not going to be the way I want to be able to watch this fight. Meaning, I'm trying to figure out, like, why couldn't we get these fights here televised in the United States of all the networks? Now, with my cable, Comcast Xfinity, you know, we haven't had one of these fights televised over here. What the World Boxing Super Series did do is on their website, they did show some of the fights, but the quality, you know, was good. But sometimes the stream would drop or freeze, and then you just be stuck scrambling to try to find some type of illegal way to watch. You know, I have HBO, I have Showtime, I have ESPN, I pay for all these things, you know, like for boxing. Because I don't, truth be told, I don't watch it. I don't watch TV like that. You know, my father does, so he needs all this stuff. But when it comes to HBO and Showtime, those are for me, you know, to know that I'm able to watch boxing when I, you know, like when they come on, and I'm able to put it on my DVR. And as, you know, a journalist or a vlogger, whatever the hell I am, I'm able to go back and search them and not have to, you know, rely on illegal means to watch fights. You know, I don't like, you know, people who leech off the sport. I hate when people try to do that type of shit to me to say, ah, man, you're just doing this for the money. It was a long time I wasn't making no money from this, man. I put a lot of my life on the line, like trying to get where I'm at today, you know, to be able to cover boxing. You know, it's not no money in this. You know how many copyrights I didn't beat, you know, and then been stricken with for the sake of the sport to try to spread awareness. So therefore, if a guy like Callum Smith comes over here to the United States, you can be like, oh yeah, I remember TstreeT was talking about him. You'd be surprised how many friends I have that don't know anything about the international boxing scene, and they rely on my videos, just like everyone has their own support base. You know, there's people out there that only go to certain people for their content. So for example, when I want to go, like when I want to listen to like news or anything like that on YouTube, you know, I go to certain, you know, channels. That's just the way it is, you know? So I just feel bad, you know, that it's just so difficult for us to be able to get these fights over here in the United States. But anyway, let's go listen to Callum Smith post-fight interview from his last fight. I like to go back down memory lane when promoting these fights, and if I'm correct, I believe you guys are going to be getting these fights free over there in the UK on ITV, but here in the United States, nah, you know. So Richard Schaefer did say, in fact, before we go watch the post-fight interview, let's go watch this. Let me see. Damn it. Let's go watch this, because even though I uploaded the video, I want you to, and I edited it, I forgot exactly what he did say. But what we're looking for is, hold on. Oh, and we're going to talk about the fighters. We're going to talk about the fighters. Here's what Richard Schaefer said. It's only 55 seconds, and, you know, like 7 seconds of that is the intro. On TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe. Let's see.
And on this World Super Series, we're coming down to crunch time, 2018. some really good fights on their way. Is there going to be any easier way for the fans here in the United States to watch that?
Well, yeah, we're working on that. Obviously, the goal is to have the widest and biggest distribution possible. There are some great, really mouth-watering matchups, great fights. I think, Gassiev against Dorticos, for example, is one of the best fights you can make in the sport. Or Usyk and TstreeT as well. You have George Groves and Eubank. I mean, this is some great matchups. And whenever I look online in the forums and the blogs, a lot of people want to see these fights. So we're trying to finalize something that we're going to get a little bit more wider distribution. And so we'll see.
Now, you heard him. He said he's trying. I'm going to run it back one more time.
Online in the forums and the blogs, a lot of people want to see these fights. So we're trying to finalize something that we're going to get a little bit more wider distribution. And so we'll see.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So at least we know that he's aware. Richard Schaefer is one of the I believe he's like on the border of whatever it is, but basically he's pretty important when it comes to the World Boxing Super Series. So at least we know that he's aware of the situation and that he is in the forums and in the chats and whatever he's in, and he understands the frustration of, us Americans that really want to see these fights. These are some really good fights. Groves versus Eubank is a really good fight. Callum Smith versus Juergen Braehmer is a really good fight because Callum Smith can lose. Usyk versus Breedis is a big fight. Unification. So, you got Murat Gassiev. He trains and spars, with Gennady Golovkin. And, he's a cruiserweight and Golovkin's a 160 guy. Trained by Abel Sanchez. So they got to sort that out. But we're going to talk about the fight and the fighters and the division and the future of the fighters. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. We're also going to talk about the World Boxing Super Series as a whole for people who don't know. But in the meantime, let's go back down memory lane, see what's going on. This dude's a giant, by the way. I forgot his name.
Joe Gallagher is coach. And Eddie Hearn up here in the boxing ring, all posing for the photographers as they celebrate that victory which sees you, Mundo, ascend to the WBC Diamond Belt and through to the semi-finals of the World Boxing Super Series. Congratulations on extending your unbeaten record. There's the WBC Diamond Belt you've just won. Your thoughts on the performance you've just produced here tonight?
Good. It's a good win against a good opponent. I give him a lot of credit beforehand. I was a big favourite, but I knew it was a very tough fight. He was unbeaten. He was coming down a weight. He was big. He was strong, and I knew I was up against it, and I knew I'd need a good performance to beat him. I'll have to watch it back to see what I've done wrong, but I felt, apart from 1 or 2 rounds, I felt comfortable. I felt reserved, and I said beforehand people were predicting knockouts and all that, and I just said I knew I was the better man, the better technical boxer, and I said people will see a boxing side of me what they haven't seen, and I've just beat a very good fighter on the back foot using my skills, and I showed again that late in the fight I've still got power if I need it. So there's a lot of good points and there's probably a lot of bad when I speak to Joe and look at it back, but I'm WBC Diamond Champion, I'm unbeaten, and I'm still in the tournament, which I feel I'm good enough to win.
Most certainly. Now, as you say, won a unanimous point decision here tonight, beating a fellow unbeaten.
Now, it was a unanimous decision, but he really didn't look good. And it really questions of when it comes to Juergen Braehmer, he has to look really good for people to give him a chance to beat Groves or Eubank. Now, Juergen Braehmer, from my understanding,
fighter coming in
has never been stopped before, correct? No, he's been stopped once. Oh, that was the Nathan Cleverly fight with the elbow. He had an injury during that fight, and he was actually winning on the cards. But here he is right here. He is 49-3 with 35 KOs, been stopped once. That was the Nathan Cleverly fight. Here's what happened. Nathan Cleverly won that WBA world title, even though at the time, Sergey Kovalev was the WBA Super World Champion. Then, when Ward beat Kovalev, obviously he won all those belts. When Ward retired, Dmitry Bivol became the 175-pound WBA world champion. He's fighting Sullivan Barrera on HBO in March the 3rd, the same day as Wilder versus Ortiz. So he had beat Rob Brandt, in the opening round of the World Boxing Super Series, and he was fighting Callum Smith February the 24th, 2018 in Germany. And Germany has a very bad reputation. You know, they have a very bad reputation, just like Las Vegas. You know, when it comes to scorecards. You know, and obviously Callum Smith, Joe Gallagher, and his team are aware of that. So that's why he's got to look really, really good. I mean, hell, look at what happened to his brother Paul Smith against Arthur Abraham in the first fight. You know, so of course he knows, like, shit. You know, I got to really go out there and shine. You know, and Juergen Braehmer's getting a little long in the tooth. And going back to look at his resume again, there's really not much there. I mean, he fought the guy who George Groves. You know, I'm hoping this guy's all right. I haven't heard anything. He put this, George Groves had put this guy right here into a coma. You know, and I don't know if this guy ever recovered or whatever the case may be, but he fought him twice. Where is he at? Right here. You know, yeah, there's some other, you know, like somewhat respectable names out there. Like I've heard of this guy before. You know, and then you got Enzo. You know, so there's some somewhat, but there's really not nothing there. You know? But still, all these fights and all these 12 rounders, all that experience. But he also was a 40-year-old man, 39. You know, he turned 39 in October. You know, it was a southpaw. I forgot what I was going to look at. You know, I guess we can go look at Juergen Braehmer's post-fight. Let's see how long it is. Please subscribe, by the way. Let me do this real quick. Go like that.
Well, let's see if we can have a word now with the winner. Juergen Braehmer, the tournament number 4 seed, had just booked his place in the semi-finals of the World Boxing Super Series with a masterclass over the championship distance once again. Juergen, congratulations on that victory. You're through to the Final 4. How pleased are you with the performance you produced tonight, coming back after a loss last time out?
Juergen Braehmer, Gratulation für diese Performance heute Abend. Du bist nun in den Semifinals, also im Semifinale. Wie zufrieden bist du mit deiner Leistung heute?
Naja, gut, ich habe jetzt das erste Mal nach meinem eigenen Plan trainiert. Körperlich habe ich mich sehr, sehr fit gefühlt, aber ich war ein bisschen zu fest. Also ich wollte unbedingt zeigen, dass ich härter schlage, dass ich mehr drauf habe und dass mit 39 Jahren noch einiges in mir steckt.
That I was designing my own training camp by myself. I felt really fit tonight. Sometimes I was a little bit stiff and I wanted it too much to knock him out, but I showed what I can still do at 39 years of age.
You most certainly did.
And even though there wasn't even that much footage on Rob Brandt at this point in time, people were saying Rob Brandt was going to beat Braehmer, you know? So, I don't want this video to stretch out longer than it has to be. I did notice that the World Boxing Super Series has dialed it back a little bit, like with those super crazy high-profile press conferences. They haven't had a press conference for this yet, you know, now that I think about it. If you don't know what the World Boxing Super Series is, one of these fighters, whether it's Chris Eubank, George Groves, Juergen Braehmer, or Callum Smith, is going to walk away with what? I guess it's like, what, at least $10+ million in a 9-month span, because the first round of the World Boxing Super Series, as you can see right here, let me see if I can zoom this in some more for you. The first round, you know, was September, October. Then they're fighting again January, February, you know, and then in May is the finals, you know. So they're getting not only, you know, able to, you know, collect 2 belts, depending on, you know, how you consider that that IB, well, 3 belts, depending on how you consider that highly seductive and alluring IBO title, and that WBC Diamond title, which has a different meaning for different divisions, whatever the WBC feel like they want that belt to mean. You know, to put it into perspective, Jorge Linares is the WBC Diamond champion, but he was elevated because he was injured. But Mikey Garcia is the WBC Diamond champion at 140, but it really don't mean that he's the mandatory at 140. It's just it's weird. It's weird, you know. But either way, the winner's going to come out with a lot of money, that Muhammad Ali trophy, you know, and, you know, multiple titles. And I'm pretty sure the WBC is going to make whoever the winner of this tournament is, you know, because they had to get, you know, their sanctioning fees, the mandatory for David Benavidez, Ronald Gavro. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. The fight's on February the 24th, 2018. It's in Germany, so Callum Smith's got to work hard. I'm just hoping that they come up with something soon, you know, so I'm not stressing. And also, you know, add a little fire to the tournament by announcing, yeah, we got this network deal, the broadcast, you know, these fights and the finals. You know, come on, help us out. And I understand why Showtime didn't pick it up, and I understand why HBO didn't pick it up, because see, what's the point of them picking up the first round fights or picking and choosing the which fights they're gonna show and not commit to it? You know, so I'm pretty confident that at least the finals are going to be here on network television. But it makes no sense to pick up a first round fight, you know, and not pick them all up, you know, because it's like, why would you invest? It just doesn't make any sense, you know. And understand, for people who don't know, these networks can't just show boxing whenever they want. They can't say, we're going to have boxing every Saturday night. No, they get a budget, a certain amount of dates, a certain amount of times, you know, that they can put boxing on, you know. Because HBO or Showtime may say, nah, well, you know, we got this movie premiere in the night, or this special, or this documentary. But then after that, you know, you can have this time slot from 10:15 to 1 a.m. or something. You know, that's how it works. So these are a lot of fights. They're 14 fights. What, you know, I believe it's like 14 fights or something like that. And you would have to pick up the whole, you know, package. But anyway, T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live at FightView360.com or at FightView360 on all your social media. Please subscribe, and obviously, of course, you know I'm going to be covering this fight live after the fight, as well as the other World Boxing Super Series fights.